All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Bible study, or I guess I could say real talk / Bible study. May the Most High bless you. I pray everybody is doing well and having a blessed night as we give the Most High all the honor, the glory, and all the praise. My title now says Satan Wearing Out the Saints. Now, I know that title is kind of weird, but just feel me in this video because we living in a time now where a lot of people are very shaky in the faith who calling themselves followers, Christians. You know, it's to the point now where it's like mostly everybody that you thought was going to hold on is jumping off. And I want to use this title, and I'm actually responding back to you, Lee Taylor. Shout out to you. I want to use this title, Satan is Wearing Out the Saints, because the Bible shows us this. And don't let the title once again scare you off, because when you get to talking about things like this, it scares people. And then you got preachers that skip over stuff like this because they give you all these feel-good sermons. You know, they're always talking about, you know, prosperity. You know, you're going to be rich, this and that. But when you start talking about suffering and struggling and the saints getting worn down, you see people skip over this stuff. Now, real pastors will deal with this, because as a real pastor, these scriptures I'm going to get into should bother you a little bit. It should bring a question in your mind, because we're always talking about how we overcome and you know, we got the power in this, but you see, as we get off into Daniel, how the saints are getting wore out. I didn't say the saints lost. And if you are considered a saint, then you're just simply set apart. You're different. You know, a lot of people claiming to be saints, but you really can see how many are calling themselves saints and, you know, being set apart that's really not living according to the scripture. So I want to kind of just have this little real talk and then go into these scriptures, because when you look at the followers of Christ, look at how many people died in the faith. Look at Stephen, or some may pronounce Stephen, who was stoned to death. Some were beheaded. I mean, you named it, it happened. Look at the followers. And it's a reason why the Bible teaches us, don't fear the one who could harm the body. I mean, even right now, we know people who have died in violent ways. Innocent people who have been murdered, shot, you know, things have happened to them, and it brings the question, why them? You know, why? But Satan is wearing out the saints, but we overcome by what? We overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony. See, you can kill my flesh, but you can't take my eternal life from me. Even if something was to happen to me, you're really not doing nothing but helping me cross on over into glory. You're really doing me a favor, because staying around is what's hard right now. We looking overseas at people that's being murdered, raped, kidnapped on a daily basis, shot at, little children coming up missing, body parts missing. I mean, you name it, and it's getting closer and closer to your home. But we overcome. The word of our testimony. How you going to overcome if you don't have a testimony? How can you say you got a testimony if you ain't never been tested? The first part of that word says test. Then you have ammonia. And if you're not being tested right now, you better check whose side you on. Now, I'm responding back to you, Brother Lee, with this video from your email last year about what's really going on with the saints. Now, the Most High led me back to Daniel. Now, I want to just kind of outline Daniel a little bit for time's sake, so I won't have to, you know, read so many scriptures. But on your own time, read chapter 7. But this is a wake-up call. The longer we stand around here, my brother, the worse things are getting. Things got to get worse and worse before they can get better, because there's going to be that false peace that come in that pretty much the whole world going to whore after, because they thinking that, oh, this must be Yahshua. There is a false peace. So we already know what time it is with the Antichrist, the fake ones. So I'm giving another wake-up call, because some of us may have forgot how bad it should get before it get better. And then that better that it's going to be is a fake better. The only real peace is when the real Prince of Peace is here. Now, think about this. The other day we talked about music. I can even tie this in with gospel music and preachers who have gotten worn out from the devil. You got preachers who are preaching what they can't even do no more, or never was doing, or just talking because it sounded good. I didn't say all. You got singers who's singing about what they can't even live up to. You got people in the gospel singing about power and how they overcoming, but they really letting the demons get them. And I'm talking about on a daily basis, because Satan is very consistent with what Satan does. You ever notice he might let up off of you, but then he's very consistent. Just keep on coming. And a lot of times when the devil keeps on coming, that wears you out. It takes you down, but it shouldn't take you all the way out. See, the flesh will get weak. The flesh, there's times where you don't feel like praying sometimes. You don't feel like going to church. You might not feel like reading your Bible, but you still do, don't you? Or some days you might just say, you know what, I'm just going to chill today. But sometimes the devil will wear you out to the best. But don't give that sucker the opportunity to defeat you. Some of us have been letting the devil win, I don't know how long now. Because we think, oh, because I'm a child of the king, he's not going to mess with me. The Antichrist is coming harder than ever before, y'all. They've been here. They've been here. See, too many saints have stopped fasting. Prayers done got less. Let me say this all the way real, because half of these churches won't even wake up because they have gotten so attached to the building and all the activities that go on. But if I can just get your attention for a moment, because Facebook done got most of the Christians. But if I can get your attention for a moment, I need you to cut off Facebook for a moment. And I will be posting this on there. If you're going to stay on Facebook, look at this video right here. But if you can stop Facebooking, stop tweeting, get off of Instagram for a moment, pause your favorite reality show. The church buildings are so far asleep. I didn't say all. Oh, let me just say it like I want to say it. We keep having revivals. We keep calling people, talking about invite people to this. We need you there 3 times out of the week. But who have gotten revived? You can't revive an unbeliever. A revival ain't even for an unbeliever. A revival is for the believer. How do you plan a revival? You don't supposed to. Or do you? See, my point is, with all the singing, preaching, all what we got. Oh, every church got this. Building funds, Sunday school, Bible study, mission, prayer nights, BTU, pastor and wife anniversaries, musicals, car washes, bake sales, musicians appreciation, usher meetings. The kitchen got to meet with the kitchen committee, love offers, tithe and youth department, business meetings, deacons meetings, all the stuff that's going on, all the prophesizing, prophet line, speaking in tongues, laying hands, shouting, with all of that. My question is, where is your power? Where is the anointing? Where is the faith? So many people done got wore out from the devil, they done completely already gave up. Now, Daniel was a dynamic man of the Most High. Daniel chapter 7, let me just say this about Daniel. Because this man became how could we say, he was important. He was a very important government official. Back in Babylon and Persia, we know, and we know this book very well. This man was very powerful, but this man had some visions that bothered him. And he shows us how Israel, Daniel, what I like about Daniel, he shows how the foreign nations would have the power over their homeland until the Most High sent the Savior. Now, Daniel testifies in Revelation. Revelation testifies with Daniel. They hand in hand with each other. That's why when you look at Revelation and you look at Daniel, you see what time it is. But this prophet, Daniel, was speaking of some events way back. So when you think of Daniel, then you see where we at now with the Antichrist. Once again, the dreams this man had was no joke. So we're going to look at chapter 7. But my main verse I want to focus on, and I'm going to just outline down to that. I want you to focus on chapter 7, verse 25. Chapter 7, verse 25. So let me just kind of paraphrase this and get down to that so we can paint the picture to get us to 25, but because of time's sake, I'm going to kind of just be moving a little bit, but I want to still take my time. In the first part of this chapter, we see the visions of the 4 beasts. And I'm not talking about no animals that physical animals. We have to break down these symbols, these metaphors in the Bible. These analogies, everything has to be broken down. We see judgment. Then we see the meaning of the visions, what they stood for. But Daniel said that he was terrified by these visions. He didn't really know what to think. So he was so terrified, and then he saw these 4 beasts, which was nothing but 4 earthly kingdoms. And he said that the Most High will give his kingdom to the chosen ones, and it's going to be theirs forever and forever. That's why we don't have nothing to worry about. But he said, I wanted to know more and more about this 4th beast. Daniel said that that 4th beast, brother, that 4th beast, brother, PP drawings was so different from the other ones. He said it was much more terrifying than the others. He was trying to figure out what is the meaning of this iron teeth and bronze claws and the feet that smashed with the teeth and claws. He was putting it all together. He wanted to know about the 10 of those horns on his head. See, some of y'all think I'm talking about a cartoon, a fairy tale. I'm talking about kingdoms. I'm talking about rulers. He said, I especially wanted to know more about the one that took the place of the 3 of the others, the horn that had eyes and spoke with arrogance and seemed greater than others. So Daniel was putting all this together. And when he got down to verse 25, what did he see? Because as the Most High laid it on him about the 4th beast will be a 4th kingdom to appear on earth, he said it will trample the earth and crush it into pieces. He said this one's going to be different from the others, and it will conquer the 3 other kings. Now, here it is, verse 25. And it said in verse 25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. See, something right there, we can stop right there. Some people don't want to hear that because they've been taught pre-tribulation. They don't want to hear Satan is wearing out the saints. See, if you are a pastor, you should be telling your congregation about things like this, because it's sad that so many preachers want to make the Bible just about feel-good sermons. And then when it come down to the real deal, the struggling and suffering and dying and stuff, you're taking everybody out ahead of time with your rapture theory. Daniel said right here in verse 25 that he wore out the saints. He makes war with the saints. Now, how you going to make war with somebody that's already gone? Now, we know that Revelation is past, present, and future. We know that Daniel was also talking about future, but you can still back up in their time and see how a lot of them got wore out. But they overcame by the blood of their what? Testimony. In Revelation, remember those souls that was crying under the altars? They were still wondering how long was it going to be for the Most High redeemed them. Get them that done those terrible things to them. So when you look at Satan wearing out the saints, you can look right now in the majority of homes, churches, and see who's being worn down. See, I have an old saying I got from Big Mama. She used to say, I might give out, but I'm not going to give up. Which, in other words, I fall out at times because of flesh. I get down just like a boxer. You might hit me with a few licks, but I ain't telling nobody to throw the towel in. You can't technical knock me out. You haven't TKO'd me yet. So I'm getting hit with some blows, but I'm still fighting. This spiritual war. The devil is coming harder than ever before. See, when you look at Revelation 13 and 7, it says, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given to him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. Wait a minute, JT, you just read that it was given to him to make war with the saints and he overcome them? See, preachers that with this pre-trib, they skip this stuff. Like I said earlier, you can kill me physically. Just like when they stoned Stephen or Stephen, he already saw the light. Yeah, they might have destroyed his physical body, but look at what already happened to him. We have to remember that death is precious in the eyesight of the Most High. He told us that in the book of Psalms. But wickedness is taking over more and more. You can look right now in most churches and see how Satan has taken over. Look at how they won't stand for the truth. That's why wickedness has taken over versus righteousness. The love of money in the church. All the performing instead of praising and true worship. All the wickedness, the drunkenness, the shacking up, the homosexuality, the whoring around. I mean, you name it. The people that's living a crazy lifestyle who's busting the church open faithfully. You see the devil at work, but you see less power of the ones who's claiming to be followers. Daniel once again shows how the saints were getting wore out. If Satan is not making war with you, then he already have you. He already have you. Once again, don't ever fear the one who can harm the body. See, I can't shoot the devil. Can't stab the devil. It's a spiritual. He's an entity. This is my spiritual enemy that I can't shoot. But I have the Most High, who already showed me how his time running out. That's why he's wearing out the saints so bad, because his time is wearing out. And after a while, it's over with for the devil. The battle is won. Some of us done gave up on a battle that's already won. Some of us are stuck on prosperity messages, but our soul is not prospering. Y'all, don't let these ones that do this, these preachers, keep these feel-good sermons, these watered-down lessons keeping you so pumped up like nothing will never happen when you look at what's really going on. See, pre-tribulation sermons done blocked out messages like this, all this secret stuff. I see how people stay more and more confused on a daily basis. Satan is making war. Satan is not making war with Satan. So y'all, hang in there. Stay encouraged. I love you. This is my prayer that we all continue to stay on this battlefield and don't give up. But we got to stay obedient, and we got to keep praying. We got to keep fasting. We got to keep studying. We got to keep being obedient. And it don't matter how bad it look. Remember whose side you on. I love you and have a wonderful, blessed day.